Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about healing after toxic relationships. Watch this video. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new, please click the little subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications when I release new videos. And if you've been with me for a while, thank you so much and welcome back. Today, I'm going to be talking about healing after a toxic relationship. For those of you that don't know, Emotional Rehab, my 12-week program, is open for enrollment right now. So just click the link below. This is for healing inner wounds and ending toxic relationship cycles. The reason we attract toxic relationships is because honestly, I don't think a lot of people say this, but the truth is there's so many parts of us in the shadow. And what we do before we've done shadow work is we project those parts of ourselves that we are denying and not yet integrating onto others. And so we think we need them to be whole, to feel enough. What's interesting about that is we are completely giving all of our power away when it's really over here, when we just can't see it because we've totally denied it or it's been put in the subconscious, right? And so what we do is we engage in these relationships that are either controlling and manipulating or there's a lot of things. Blame shifting, gaslighting, all of these things happen. Specifically with highly sensitive people, and I'm going to explain that in a minute, but also with anyone who's been through trauma, anyone who's been through emotional invalidation or emotional neglect or emotional abuse or any type of anything that happened in your childhood that for some reason made you feel that you are not okay, enough, or whole. That's most people on some level, isn't it? For me personally, since I like talking about highly sensitive people a lot, I will say that most of us who grow up highly sensitive or misunderstood or feel a bit different or don't know where we fit or don't find our tribe or don't feel like we belong, we put those parts of ourselves that we think make us different into the shadow. You know, for me, I talk about this a lot, but as a kid who did things differently and saw the world differently, it was really tough to not have that mirrored. And one example I've given before is I would do long division problems and get the answers correct, but I would do all the work differently. So I wasn't following the process or the rules. And for a lot of us out there who are entrepreneurs or right-brained or sort of think different, we don't like rules, we don't like labels, and we do things our own way. And once we are allowed to do things our own way because we re-own those parts of ourselves that are unique, we thrive. So here's the thing, when we don't have those parts of ourselves anchored in ourselves, instead we're tethered to another or tethered to some other kind of external validation, what happens is we have toxic relationships, whether it be friendships, family members, or relationships, intimate relationships. We also have intimacy issues because of that, right? When you're not fully whole, you are more needy, or you are more neglecting, or you're more avoiding. There are so many coping mechanisms that we go over in my work. But what's ultimately at the root cause of even shadow work is inner child work. The inner child, the child self, not the adult self, the child self is the one that is attracting these patterns. Why? Because it needs to be healed from the place that it started. We can't grow up and say, I understand it all now. The little one inside still needs to be healed. And the only way we do that is by doing the shadow work and integrating the self, integrating the parts of the inner child that were denied, ignored, shamed, whatever, misunderstood. And when we start to do that shadow work, and you can start today, you can start by looking at what it is that you think this person has that you don't. Why you put this person on a pedestal, why you have false idols and false gods, why you still look to authority to confirm you or what you think. So often clients say to me, there's this double-edged sword. I know what I want, but I'm afraid to get it because I don't want people to not like me, or I don't want conflict. Well, you have to be willing to do you regardless of them, right? You have to be willing to be loyal to your own soul, over this validation from another, this confirmation of self. Oftentimes people can't own what they feel or even own their own perception because they need someone else to let them know that they're right about that. I had this one client who was telling me, until I hear that it's okay, I don't feel okay. And what that means is there's an uncertain identity going on that we're anchoring to someone outside of us that's in an authority position, because we're still looking for mom or dad to validate our identity through others. We're still looking through that, for that, and to that, until we wake up to our wise guide inside and become our own author of our own reality. So often when clients are going through and healing toxic relationships or healing from toxic relationships, they ask me, how can I stop feeling the need for that drug? Like this withdrawal comes, right? And I say, it's really hard. It is a path that you will be on for a while. But when you realize that it's really about you becoming the center of your own reality. And of course, a lot of people have issues with that because focusing on self means they're selfish, or focusing on self means I'm not going to get my needs met. I don't think I can take care of my own needs. All these wonderful little things come up. And what we realize is you can. It's just an old fear that you can't. It's an inner child fear. It's not an adult version of you fear. It's coming up as almost a trauma response, but it's actually no longer a trauma. It's just an old stored experience that we need to come back into. And we're given all these opportunities to resurface these old wounds, to deal with them differently, integrate them, and have finally resolve. When we have emotional resolve, emotional traumas start to heal. So as we heal these or heal from these toxic relationship cycles, we realize that we no longer have to live as if we're not the star of our own movie. We no longer have to live as if we're not whole. It's hilarious. It's a lie. We are whole. We have always been whole. Society didn't give us that idea. It gave us a different idea of conditional living. But as soon as we take those parts out of the shadow and into our being, we start to live a little differently, more empowered, more fearless, more full, more whole. We don't start to look for people to complete us, but we look for people to share our own completeness. Think about it. There's so much more on this topic. I've been building my shadow work course, so if you're interested in that, it will be launching probably in 2021. You can get on the wait list. Emotional rehab is happening now. We are open for enrollment. I hope to see you guys there right now. And if you do sign up, don't forget we have a live call every single Sunday that you can tune into. So check all those links below. Please share this video with at least one person you think it might help. And I will see you guys soon. Have a great day.